Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card is what is people's first impression of you. Before I get into the video, I do want to say I've been a little bit MIA and I have had, people reach out and ask if I'm okay. I'm completely fine. The eclipse definitely knocked me for six, and being a Cancer rising, whatever phase the moon's in, it can affect me, and the eclipse and this full moon, it's affecting my 6th and 12th house axis. So I've very much been called to kind of go in, and instead of extending my energy out, just pull it in. Usually when I go through like a rebirth, let me know if you guys go through this, but whenever I go through like a rebirth, it's like I'll go into an energy where I want to pull all my energy back, and then it's almost like new levels of, or new layers of consciousness kind of like open up to me in a way, and to reach that I kind of go inward and reach up to them, and I just feel like that's what I've kind of been doing, which does mean I'm a little bit away from the camera for a little bit, but I'm topping up energy and kind of like moving up levels inwardly, so it's better in the long run. So that's basically what's happening. I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of an explanation because I haven't been as consistent as usual, but that's what I've been doing. I've been in Wonderland a little bit, but hopefully, I know the Christmas period is going to be a little bit up and down, but hopefully everything will be fine after that. I do have the 2022 predictions coming for you guys over the next week or two, so stay tuned for that. I'll be doing 2022 predictions, pick a card, and I'll be doing a 2022 love prediction, and then I also do just messages channeled from your higher selves for the new year, for any guidance. So the next couple of pick a cards will be aimed at that, so I'm excited to do those for you guys. So now that I got that out of the way, let's get into the video. So I have 4 piles for you guys to choose from. Pile number 1 is the citrine cluster. Pile number 2 is the blue calcite. Pile number 3 is the orange calcite. And pile number 4 is the aquamarine crystal. So see which crystal you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as always, and I will see you guys at your timestamp. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what is people's first impression of you. So you guys chose the citrine crystal, so let's pop this up here and get straight in. As always, I'm going to start with tarot, and then we'll move on to the oracle cards. So spirit guides, can you tap me into the collective of pile number 1? Who sang that song? Was it Willow Smith? It was like when she was a baby, when she brought out those songs when she was a baby, and it was like Fireball, like I'm the fireball of the party or something like that. I just heard that over and over, and I swear I've literally heard that song like twice. But there's something about you being someone that is like a source of light and a source of inspiration. You may not even feel like you are, but it's like when you're around people, especially when people first meet you, like whether it's just the way you dress or the way you speak or just I'm hearing charisma. You have a lot of charisma, and just that the way that you are, your personality, like that is something that shines through, and I feel like that attracts a lot of people. Like people want to be around you, even people that sometimes may in the past have been like envious or jealous. It's still like they kind of get irritated that they're drawn to you because your energy is quite infectious, if that makes sense. Like I'm seeing somebody, you may have had a friend who in the past may put you down a little bit, pile 1, but I'm seeing somebody around you and just being like, they want to be around you because you're so fun and things that you do make them laugh, but then when they feel that way, it's like they're almost scolding themselves, like, oh, I don't want to like this person, but you know what I mean? It's that type of energy. People can't help but like you, or you're one of those people that's kind of like a firecracker. Even if you're more introverted, I'm being told it's just the way that your energy is, or just maybe things that you say, or just the way that you are. We'll get into the cards and get deeper, but that was something that came through like straight away. I feel like that's how a lot of people view you, pile number 1. So pile number 1, please, spirit guides, what is people's first impression of pile number 1, please? What is people's first impression off of pile number 1? We have the 4 of Swords. Pile number 1, I'm going to lay the tarot cards first. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1, what is people's first impression of pile number 1? The cards just ran away from me, 2 seconds. We have the 2 of Wands. Pile number one, please. Pile number one, please, Spirit Guide. What is people's first impression of pile number one? We have the Four of Pentacles. People's first impression of pile number one, please, Spirit Guides. People's first impression of pile number one. We have the Queen of Wands. So there's quite a bit of fire energy here. You guys may have a lot of fire in your chart. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. And we have the Sun at the back of the deck. Which is, yeah, definitely. You're a firecracker. That's what you are. That's what's coming through. You shine very bright. Even like when you're in quite like a... Maybe you've been in like a dark phase, or maybe you've gone through like dark night of the soul, or maybe you've just been going in like through a dip of energy. There's just something about your energy that's still radiating through. And of course, I like to say on this channel, that's the soul energy coming through. That's, you know, your higher self coming through and shining out. And I do feel that's you guys' heart shining out. But there's something very infectious, like you're a guiding light to people. And I feel like it doesn't have to just be in like a spiritual way, like your higher self's coming through, and it's in a healing way, because I do feel like you guys are healers, pile number one, but it's in a way of like motivation. It's in a way of like inspiration. It's in a way of like you shining your light out. A lot of people get inspired by you, is what I'm being told. And you have your own authenticity that I just feel people really admire about you. You're quite... People's first impression of you, you must have like an ascendant that must be, you know, like a Libra rising or a Cancer rising or something like that. Or you may just have a bit of that in your chart, because it's like a lot of people on first impression really like you. Really, it's almost like I want to be that person's friend. I want to be around that person. Like, even if you didn't say much, it's just like, you know, you could be next to somebody that's very extroverted and trying to get the attention of the group, and you could be stood next to them quite quiet, but you still take the shine. You still take the attention like towards you, even when you don't mean to, because I feel like sometimes you'd rather just blend in, but you can't help but shine out. And I feel like sometimes when you try to blend in, you shine out even more. Like, that's what I'm being told about you, because you have a very goldeny yellow aura, is what I'm being told. Another thing that I'm being told about you is, I'm being told no matter what happens to you, you always bounce back up fighting. Like, there's always a lot of like, not inspiration, what's the word? Oh, what's the word? They're telling me you're a pioneer in spirit, but they just said a word. What was the word that just came to my brain? What's the optimistic? That's it. Very, very optimistic. Like, that's the way that you come across. I feel like people would look at you and be like, wow, I'd want that person on my team, or I'd want that person around, or I'd want that person. I'd want to go out on a night out with that person. I'd want to travel with that person. They're very infectious. They make me feel very good. Like, I feel like you draw in a lot of people because you just make people feel very good. I feel like you have got a very, you know what it is? I feel like it's your inner child shining out. And I feel like you inspire people to want to play and be fun and not take themselves so seriously. I feel like you come across like that, like someone that doesn't take life so seriously. And I'm not saying you don't work hard or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, you don't get bogged down by things that maybe other people would get bogged down by. You know what I mean? You wouldn't get frustrated by things that other people get frustrated by. Maybe you do, but that's just the impression that people have of a first impression. You're just kind of like a ray of sunshine like that. Now, another thing I want to say as well is Spirit kept saying study, and like a lot of people with like books, almost like writing down things that you do. I do feel that you do have a lot of people that study the way that you are. So I feel like you do deal with a lot of copycats. That's the thing, when we're a source of inspiration, people will think, okay, well, maybe I can try and bottle some of what they're doing and kind of use it for me and shine out like that. But as we know, that doesn't work because the way people shine out like that is when they're being their authentic self, and you are very, very authentic. You're a very authentic self of expression, I'm being told. And because of that, that's what makes you shine out. That's what makes you so infectious. And I feel like a lot of people can get, you know, in the world, there's a lot of people that don't tap into themselves like that. There is. And there's a lot of things put in place so that we don't tap into ourselves like that, so that we are insecure about ourselves, or that we are blocked off on a heart level, or blocked off to our inner child. And I feel like that's something you've always preserved. And that's something that I feel is such a light about you, you know? With the Four of Swords, and then the Two of Wands coming here again, there is this sense, because it's the way that you speak, people would know that you've either been through a lot, or like you're someone that like has seen a lot. Like, you have a lot of, I want to say wisdom, and it is wisdom, but there's a word that I don't even think I have in my vocabulary that Spirit are trying to show me. Like, I almost feel like you've had to fight a bit, pal one. Like, that's how it's coming through. It's very obvious on first impression, you're not someone that's quite spoiled or had everything, you know, given to them on a silver platter. You are someone that has been through things. Like, that's something that people feel on first impression. You are someone that maybe has gone through something that could have hardened you in a way, or have you, how do I explain this? Look at life in a higher way. You know, when we go through certain situations and we kind of like, it kind of breaks the mold of the 3D a little bit, and we're able to see things from a higher perspective. People feel that from you, because I feel like you're not someone that people would just have a conversation with and then you would like bitch about somebody, or you would be like, oh, I've got to go and pay this, or I've got to go and do this. Or you're not someone that would just go and like moan about your job or something like that. You're always looking at the brighter side of life. And that comes from having gone through things and seeing things from a higher perspective. So people can see that about you. Or it may be something that people have heard through the grapevine. They know that you've been through something. Maybe it was a heavy breakup. Maybe it was something to do with like family. Maybe you've just gone through a mental health battle or something like that. But there's something about, not necessarily wearing it as a badge, not like that, but in a way of like, you have no problem speaking on it, or you don't fear that side of yourself. The negative traits, it's almost like you speak about them. You don't try and like hide them or shun them away, or what you've been through. You don't get, you know, not upset about it. What's the word? You don't get embarrassed by it. It's like, yeah, I went through that, and what? It's like, I bounced back. Like, there's that type of energy about you. So you come through as very evolved emotionally, is what I'm being told. And with the Four of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, there's this energy of like, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. And I feel like you don't brag about what you have, you just let it do the talking. You're not somebody that would be like, I have all of this money. You would just, you know, let your businesses or let what you do shine for you. You're not someone that would like maybe parade their body around, but your body just shines out anyway. You know what I mean? Or you're not somebody that has to, a lot of the times we see it, people will put other people down to have themselves shine. You just naturally shine like that. You're not somebody that's very braggy, somebody that's very, you know, braggadocious, somebody that's very, look at me. You're not like that. It's almost like your energy, your accomplishments, who you are, it speaks for itself. Do you understand what I mean? And I'm hearing like a lion doesn't have to tell people that they're a lion. So whether you're a Leo or not, you have Leo placements or not, it's like, you don't need to prove anything. You've got nothing to prove. So people are kind of like in awe of that. There's a lot of confidence. And I feel like that's something you've worked on. And it's funny, I'm now realizing we have literally the citrine crystal here correlating to the solar plexus, which is the sun, which we have here. So there's a lot of that. A lot of confidence. People see you as a very confident person. People see you as somebody that's like a source of light, a source of inspiration. So let's get into the oracle cards and get a bit deeper. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. What do people think of pile number 1 off of first impression? What do people think of pile number 1? I'm hearing like, when people are around you, pile number 1, it's like, even if you're quite quiet, that I'm being told, like, you know, when you have like a ball of string and you see that little bit on the end hanging out, and it just looks like a tiny little piece, and then you pull it and it unravels and it unravels and unravels. There's something about people being very shocked by how multi-dimensional you are the longer they're in your presence. Like, first impression, it's like, wow, this person's very confident, this person's very emotionally evolved, this person's very fun to be around. And then it's like, maybe then they'll hear your story, or they'll see something that you're working on as a project, or they'll hear something that you've been through, or they'll see another side of you where you're being open with your emotions and you're being vulnerable. And it's almost like, oh my God, I can't keep up. Very multi-dimensional like that. Another thing is people like to pick your brain, because it's almost like people anticipate what you're going to say. Having been in your presence for a little bit, it's like, oh my God, what's this person going to say now? Because whether it's in like a humorous way of like, you just like to make people laugh, or you just say things that people would maybe be too scared to say and everyone just kind of like laughs, or it's like, you may say something, let's just say connected to spirituality. You may say something and it's like, how would that person even know that? Like, how would that person even think to know that? Or how would that person even feel comfortable or confident talking about that? You know, sometimes in spirituality, if you talk about things, it can seem a little crazy to people that aren't into it. But I feel like you may just say that with ease and people are like, whoa, what is that person on about? Oh my God, like that's how it's coming through. But yeah, there's something about that. It's like, what's this person gonna say? You may be a little bit cheeky sometimes. I'm hearing, and people are like, oh my God, what are they gonna say? You make a lot of people that's not the word, insecure. You make people shy sometimes, and I don't think that you realize you do it. Not that your presence is intimidating, but it's like because you shine, it's like people want to shine with you. So it's almost like they're fumbling around in their own energy, like, what can I show for myself here? You know what I mean? To like back myself up to this person. And I feel like that may happen in romantic situations. Like, you just like shine like that, and then I feel like you might get a lot of people trying to impress you, or like look at things that you're into and then try and like act like they're into it too, or try and like accommodate that. You may have a lot of people try and mirror your energy so that they can kind of like stand next to you, if that makes sense. I feel like that does happen for you guys, pile one. What's people's first impression of pile one? Please, spirit guides, what is people's first impression of pile one? So we have Libra, consideration, fairness, and harmony. Like I said, oh look, we got the sun and the moon here balanced as well. The sun just shine out to me. What I'm being told here with the Libra card, first thing that I want to say, I don't know why I was going to say the line from that Iggy Azalea song, first things first on the realist. I was now going to say that. Maybe you say little things like that that are quite funny. I don't know. Watch the video to Fancy by Iggy Azalea, because I don't know, you kind of have main character energy in a way. You do kind of have that. That's how people view you. Specifically on social media, I'm being told. On social media, you have main character energy for sure. But with the Libra energy, what I was being told is there's something very put together about you. And again, it's not something that can be like imitated or copied. It's just your essence. You know what I mean? You could like, someone could put on like a black t-shirt and jeans, but it's like the way you wear it, it makes it look cool. And it's almost giving me, you know, when like Mean Girls, and it's like she wore army pants and flip-flops, so I wore army pants and flip-flops. Like I'm hearing something like that. Like you may find people mimic little things that you wear because it's just the way you wear it, or maybe the way you wear your hair. The thing is, when we're authentic within ourselves, we know what style suits us. So we're not trying to like look like maybe like a celebrity would look, or how like a fashion thing would look, because it's like what suits me. And then you hone in on your own aesthetic and your own energy, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna like wear this. And I feel like you know what suits you, you know what your aesthetic is. And even if you don't, I just feel like you naturally, I'm hearing you're like fashionistas a little bit, like you naturally wear things that like look good on you, or you know how to have the eye to put things together. And I feel like you're very visually pleasing like that, I'm being told. And on top of that, again, you come across very sweet and very nice with the Libra energy. Like you don't come across on first impressions like somebody that's gonna argue, somebody that's going to be very boisterous. And it's funny because you are in a little bit of the masculine energy where there is this confidence of the solar plexus and the sun. So there's that masculine energy, but it's not in like a boisterous way, it's not in a confrontational way or anything like that. You seem like somebody that just kind of spreads joy off a first impression. That's what I'm gonna say. So there's that Libra energy. And I was saying you could be like a Libra rising, Libra Cancer rising. You know, the thing is, I'm saying Libra and Cancer because they're kind of like passive energies where they're able to, whether mentally or emotionally, tap into the energies of people around them and know how to mimic and mirror to make the other person feel at ease or healed or hear something that they want to hear. And I feel like you're very good at that. And I think that's why people feel like you're infectious, because it's like, you know what to say at the right moment, whether it's a motivational speech or it's a words of wisdom or healing or whatever the case. You know what to say, you know when to like crack that joke, you know when to do that, you know. Pile one. Ooh, too many cards. Pile one, please, spirit guides. Pile number one, we have house 6. Establishing a foundation of health, daily life, and practical details. Now, house 6 is ruled by Virgo, and I'm being told that you have very high standards for yourself, pile one, or at least that's how you come across. I don't know if you like romanticize your life, but there's something about you, you know, like I was saying, like your outfits are always put together. There's something about you, like you always have everything where it needs to be, like everything's put together. The reason I'm saying that, they're showing me, like, say now you're in a friend group and you are going out for the day. I feel like you're the person that would have like everything that everyone would need. Like, I'm somebody that does this quite often if I'm going out. I think it's because I'm like the oldest sibling, so I've just naturally learned to do it. But it's like, if I'm going out, I'll make sure that I have everything. I have plasters in case anyone gets like sore feet. I have like makeup wipes. I literally have anything that you can think of. I have essential oils in case anyone's got anxiety. Like, I literally have all of that, and I feel like you're that type of person. Like, everything's put together. Everything's where it needs to be. You're someone that has their life in order, it feels. I hope that makes sense. For sure. That's how it's coming through about house 6. It's like you have things in order. Everything's where it needs to be. You're on top of things. That's how you come across off a first impression. It's like, don't worry about me, I'm good. You know what I mean? Don't worry about me, I'm good. Pile 1, please, Spirit Guides. Pile 1. We have Pluto. Transformation. I'm actually hearing... I don't know why I keep like having trouble like breathing. I keep like trying to catch my breath. I'm not sure why. But yeah, we have Pluto here, and I'm being told that you guys may have a lot of like your chart may be very Plutonian ruled. That's what I'm gonna say, because I feel like you have been through a lot, which is why you see things from such a higher perspective. And I was saying that's how people feel off of first impressions. It's like, you're always someone else, so you're always gaining this wisdom. You've always got something, do you know what I mean? You always got something to say that can like lighten the mood or give that wisdom. And I feel like that doesn't just come, you know, out of nowhere. I feel like you've really evolved within yourself to get there. And to be this level of confidence or this energy, I do feel that's come through a lot of transformations. And I feel like maybe in the past with that energy, I feel like you've always had it, but I feel like maybe in the past people did see that potential in you and then try to put you down. Maybe you had friends that tried to take that away. I was saying that at the beginning, wasn't I? Like, I felt like in the past you'd have friends that were almost stepping towards you like a frenemy, but then ending up really liking you and then kind of scolding themselves for liking you. That's what I'm picking up. It's like they want to dislike you. They're trying to pick faults, but they end up liking you, and you just, you know, because you're just infectious like that, and they're like, ah, you know. Pile number 1, final card, please, Spirit Guides. What's people's first impression? I feel like you do draw in jealous people, but I feel like it's almost like you used to do it more often. You don't anymore, because I feel like maybe in the past you had this potential, but maybe you didn't see, I wouldn't say see your worth, but maybe you didn't see that potential within yourself, and maybe people didn't want you to see that potential in yourself, so would try to like dim your light in that sense. And I feel like you've maybe gone through a transformation to be more confident like that, so it's almost like people don't even dare step in towards you, because it's almost like you can read them like a book now anyway. I feel like in the past you did too, but I feel like in the past you always gave benefit of the doubt, because like I said, you see things from a higher perspective. So it's like, I know you may be envious, or I know you may be feeling these types of way. I can feel it, you know what I mean? I'm reading your thoughts, I can feel that. However, I see above this and I see where it's coming from, and maybe I want to be your friend to kind of like help you in a way, or maybe we can like shift that. And I feel like maybe you tried to do that in the past and maybe you ended up cutting people off, but I'm really seeing you guys now like try it. You know what I mean? Like, try it. I know exactly who I am. You can try and do that, but you know what I mean? Like, if you're not going to take the source of light and inspiration and use it to be inspired yourself and tap into your own, then there's no point really being around me, because you're either going to get triggered or you're just going to kind of like go into yourself, you know? There's that type of energy coming through higher self wise. People know not to kind of like mess with you now, because I feel like people took this bright energy as like kindness for weakness, and it definitely was not that. People have learned, is what I'm being told. We also have House 11, friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. You have leadership energy, pile number 1. Like I said, you are a source of inspiration to people, and I feel like the more that you go down that route, specifically career-wise in regards to helping guide and lift people up, I feel like that's going to become very beneficial for you. And I do feel like you're going to meet your tribe doing that, because by doing that, you meet like-minded individuals that are just like you, shining that light, and then you can just shine an even bigger light. And I feel like you're going to meet a lot of people that are like-minded like you, that really fill your cup going down that path. So I don't know whether you're in a career right now, or you're thinking of going down a career where you're guiding people, helping people, motivational speakers, therapists, like nutritionists, I'm being told, or like personal trainers. I'm really taken to fitness, but you know, counseling. You could have like YouTube, podcast, something like that, because it's something about the way that you speak. You really do like command when you speak. Yeah, and then the back of the deck we have Aries. Independent, bravery, and passion. So again, it's that fire energy. We literally have the Leo energy, and we have the Aries energy here. You're somebody that knows exactly, you're somebody that knows what they want and goes after it like a go-getter. And I feel like as you've grown into yourself, I feel like impressions have changed, and I feel like people see that about you now based off of first impressions, like, oh, this person's a go-getter, you know, this person really is a go-getter. And I'm also being told people from your past that maybe you did cut off, that did take your kindness for weakness, are almost having new first impressions of you, because they would have underestimated you. So it's almost like they're looking at you with a fresh pair of eyes, because you have, with this Pluto energy, transformed. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so that's what I have for you, pile number one. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 2, welcome to your readings. We are taking a look at what are people's first impressions of you. And straight away, if you've been watching my videos, you know I always have a pile where I feel strong water, and straight away I'm tapping into my water pile number 2. The minute I tapped into you, it was funny. I live by a beach, like right by a beach, and there used to be a lot of pirates that would come, and as a kind of like memorabilia, there's these really big anchors, like really big anchors, and as you're walking down to one part of the beach, there's like a little kind of like monument, and those anchors are there, and they're like really big, and you can like sit in them and have pictures, right? And the minute I tapped into your energy, I literally was shown a vision of me walking towards the sea with this anchor, like walking past the anchor, and I just felt, you know, that crisp salt air. Have you ever been to the beach in the morning? I felt that, and then it was like pile number 2, and I just felt that very quickly, like that healing energy that I love. It just came in for you guys, pile number 2, and I was being shown anchors everywhere. So pile 2, you are my water pile. You have strong water energy in your chart. If you don't, you just give off a very healing nature. Starseed wise, you may be from Mintaka. There's just, I found in the starseed reading when I tapped into the higher selves, and it was the water pile, their soul origins, the energy, it comes through watery, like the whole body of the higher self, it comes through in this watery element, and that's what I'm picking up as you guys' as higher self, like almost like a water goddess type of thing. So that came through the minute that I tapped in, and I had to say it because that was really beautiful. But pile number 2, please, spirit guides, tap me into pile number 2's energy. What is people's first impression of pile number 2? What is people's first impression? Somebody's hair. And it's not even somebody, there's a lot of you. Your hair is very prominent. They're taking me to like Vedic astrology. They're taking me to like Maga Sun, Maga Moon, or like Maga Ascendant, like that nakshatra, because I know that like known for their hair. I've been like learning that astrology recently, and I know that like known for their hair. That's really coming through. Whether it's big hair, bouncy hair, long hair, there's just something about your hair that makes a statement. Maybe it's the color, you know what I mean? Maybe you have no hair at all and that's the statement, but there's just something about your hair that really stands out for you, that people are very drawn to when they first meet you or are around you, is what I'm being told. I'm like, this is Pisces Cancer energy. Like, I love tapping. It's funny because it's the same. Like, I look at the comments and it's the same souls clicking on the same timestamps. It's such a familiar energy because it comes through, and I just see like the 2 fish from Pisces, and I feel like it's like a mermaidy. Like, I feel that, and that's coming through. Yeah, so let's get in with the tarot cards, because I could just tell you about your energy all day. Maybe I'll do that in another bigger card. But pile 2, What is people's first impression of pile number 2, please, spirit guides? What is people's first impression of pile number 2? It's like I'm picking up this energy. Queen of Cups, water energy. Look at that. There's this energy of like I'm here, then I'm not, then I'm here, then I'm not. And you know the Janae Aiko song 316? You probably love it if, you know, you do have a lot of water energy in your chart. I feel like you'd love the song if you've never heard it. But she sings in the song, floating at a place where now you see me and now you don't. So it's like you're almost always not really there. I don't know whether you spend a lot of time on your own pile 2, but there's this energy of like, are they even real? Like, it's like you're almost like a myth. You know, maybe you have like a strong social media presence, but then no one really sees you in the physical. Or maybe you just like, they're showing me Harry Potter. I don't know if you've ever seen the scene where Hermione, she has like this watch where she can like change time. So she'll go to one class and then she would have missed one class, so she'll go back in time and then go to the other class. And I'm seeing an energy like that, because it's like she pops out of nowhere and everyone's like, where the hell have you been, you know? And you have that kind of energy. It's like, oh my god, where's this person been, you know what I mean? And you're like floating in the astral realms, you know what I mean? I've been floating in the cosmic seas, literally. But there's just that energy about you. It's almost like they're taking me to like the land of like mythology and mermaids and fairies and pixies and things like that. You feel like that type of presence. Are they even real? Like if you're in there, like, are they even real? Like they're here, then they're there. It's like that. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. What is people's first impression? There's such an air of mystery here. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Strong divine feminine energy coming through from you guys. Strong divine feminine energy coming through that people see through you. I feel like you have no problem whether you identify male, female, non-binary. You have like no problem tapping into your inner divine feminine and expressing it. I feel like you are a strong expression of the divine feminine in this lifetime. Pile number 2. Page of Pentacles. There's this feeling of like you out of reach, or like people watching you from afar. Pile number 2. 3 of Pentacles. And the back of the deck we have the Tower. Do you know what's funny? I'm being told you have been through a lot in life. Pile 2, but yet people look at you as a very serene individual and a very calm individual. And I almost feel like it would either be common knowledge, or people around you, or maybe people from your hometown are aware that you've been through this, or you've been through that, or you've been through something that it's like, how would they even have got back up? But yet your presence is so graceful. Your presence is so poised, I'm hearing. It's like, how would that person have gone through all of that and they're still here and there? You know, they seem like at peace and they're happy and they're, you know, there's this element of healing coming from you. And it's like, how did that tower fall? But yet they're here, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. How? There's this feeling of you of like, how? It's a mystery. You know what I mean? Are they even real? Like, that's how it's coming through. Pile 2, I don't know who you are, but that's how it's coming through from you guys. And I don't know why, like, I'm being shown the aesthetic of, like, literally, like, the blue calcite, like, oceany vibes, or, like, turquoise and whites and blues and colours like that. Literally the colours of the deck that I'm using, the astrology deck. Like, that's, I almost feel like your aesthetic, or it's definitely your aura, because I can see that strongly. It's like a turquoisey, bluey, little bits of lilac, because you have a very strong crown chakra. But it's like, you're so cosmic that people are just like, how do I put that into words? Do you know what I mean? How do I put that into words? And I feel like the more you've evolved in yourself, it's like the more you've become like that. And I feel like maybe in the past you might have tried to fit into what people may have wanted for you, or like wanted from you, or what people, I almost feel like in the past you try to be like a normal person, and then at one point you said F it, and now you're just like, yeah, I'm very weird and wonderful, and that is me. And if you don't understand me, then that's not really my issue. That's more a you thing. You know what I mean? Like, keep scratching your head, because I'm just gonna be in my essence. Like, that's how you feel. You feel very like goddess like. That's how it's coming through. Let me tap into more. What are people's first impressions of pile 2? I almost don't feel like you speak a lot. I almost don't feel like you speak a lot. Like if you're in a crowded room or you are around people, you don't talk a lot. And it's funny because you have so much like wisdom in your brain. You have like a direct line. Like I'm literally being shown somebody with a phone in their hand. Direct line to the higher realms. Direct line to spirit. I feel like you're very aware of that. Strong, like clairvoyant, intuitive, clairaudient. I'm hearing, again, I said you have open crown chakras. I felt that in your energy. You can channel very well. So you have a direct line there and you can just like speak through spirit, but it's just like your energy is very, when the teacher is ready, the master appears. That's how it comes through. And I feel like you'll only speak when you need to speak. There's no point in saying words for like no reason. It's like when I'm called to speak and I energetically feel like it's time to say my piece, then I will. You're not somebody that will just like say anything, just, you know, you're not somebody that will just go for like small talk or just like try and be center of attention for like no reason or just like want the spotlight. You're not like that. You just kind of like float around. It's reminding me of the higher realms, pal, too. Like, you guys would know this, so I feel like I'm talking your language, so I'm going to say it. You know when like you're in a crowded room and you know you can connect with spirit and there's people around 3D wise, like in the physical world, and they may not be tapping into it in that moment. Maybe it's not their time to, and you see spirit or you'll see auras like around, so you know spirit is like in between the people. You can feel auras, you can see the energy, but not a lot of people are like looking at it, but you can like see it. You'll know what I'm talking about, I'm being told. Your energy is quite like that. It's like I'll go where I need to go, like I'll flow where I need to go, and I feel like people are just like, oh my god, where's it? It's almost like you fall into people's life at the right time, and I feel like you have the right amount of wisdom, and I feel like you can, again, it's like the energy thing. It's almost as if you feel like you're celestial without a body, because it's like, again, they're showing me you're the higher self of all the water energy. It's like you can tap into a lot of people's energy and mirror them to understand what's going on in their brain, to help maybe heal them, to help maybe nurture them, but not a lot of people can like shift that energy to know what's going on in your brain, because it's all, you're just in another world. Like that's how it feels. I hope that makes sense. I feel like you may have been a teacher to a lot of people more than you realize. Like you've ended up in people's lives where you may have like been a healing source for them, or been a nurturing source for them, or been like a light of inspiration for them, and then it's like when it was time to go, you would like flow away. And I'm almost seeing like a lot of people maybe from like the past, maybe with you flowing like this, I feel like there may be a lot of people from the past like, oh my god, like, you know what I mean, that person just dropped me, or like feeling kind of like negative about it, but it's just you're always flowing. And I've said this song so many times in my readings, and it's because it's probably the same people watching, so hello again. But I've probably told you this song before, I'm being told, the Janae Aiko song Spotless Mind, where she's like different people and she's always flowing, and she sings I'm a wanderer. You're that type of person. You're always flowing, you're always moving on, you're going where the wind takes you. And it's like that's why there's like a lot of mystery, because it's like you may be in someone's life for a moment, and then it's like you're called somewhere else energetically, and then it's like, oh my god, you know, where have they gone? It's that type of energy. Very nurturing, very connected to your emotions, know how to heal people, know what to say, and you have a lot of wisdom. And I do feel like because there's that air of mystery, people do put you on a pedestal. People do look to you and put you on a pedestal, and it's like people look up to you. That's what I'm gonna say. People look up to you. You feel like a very highly like evolved soul. You may share messages from, this is my spiritual pile, you may share messages from spirit on social media, I'm being told, or you may share words of wisdom on social media. I'm being shown somebody posting like oracle cards or tarot cards to like Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or something like that. You may do lives where you talk about things, and it's like, again, it's like you'll just come out of nowhere, like drop like knowledge, drop a truth bomb, and then disappear. And people are like, what was that? You know what I mean? Oh my god. Or like, where did they get that from? And I would say like Alice in Wonderland energy, but it's not really like that, because Alice, if we look at it, she was very confused going through the Wonderland. Like, yeah, she transformed, but I feel like you've already been through that. I feel like you're more of a, give me someone that I can kind of relate to, pile number 2. You're like, they're showing me my favorite movie, Avatar. You're like Naturi from Avatar. Like, you are that person that taps into like again, it's like the energy of Gaia, the energy of the water, like cosmic energies. Like I feel like you're a light worker, you tap into that. You're here to be a bridge from the physical realm to the spiritual realm. That's why you're here. I feel like that's your mission. And I feel like now more than ever, people see that, and it's like a kind of like plugging in to like hear what you have to say. You guys must have a following or something like that. Or again, people are kind of like looking at you now like, oh wow, because maybe people didn't get your vibe before. People were just like, what's going on with this person? You know what I mean? Who are they? And now it's like, oh wow, like that's what this person does. And I feel like you are, and that's why they were showing me the anchor, because you ground people. You're a source of like, almost like respite for people. You're a source of, you hold space for people as well. That's why I'm picking up that healing energy. You hold space for people. That's why people are naturally gravitating towards you when they need you, because it's almost like your energy is calling out, like, I'll drop this message and then whoever needs it will hear it. You know, like I say when I pick up cards, I always say to my spirit guides before I drop it, whether people find this now or in a year or 2 or 5 or 10 years, this reading will reach the people that it needs to when it needs to. I feel like you're like that, and I feel like your energy naturally shines that out. You'll find me when you need me. That's why people are like, who's this person? Where have they gone? And that lyric from the Janae song, now you see me, now you don't. Because it's like, here I am. No, I'm not. Here I am. I'm gone again. I'm in the higher realms again. Like, I've gone. Maybe you retreat a lot. Maybe you're like life path 1, life path 7, life path 11. You know, you go into yourself, get the wisdom, transform, and then come back out. That's kind of how it feels. That's something that I'm picking up from you guys. So let's get into the oracle cards. I know this is probably not what you expected, but this is what's coming through. And I read energy more than anything. And this is, look at that. You teach people, you guide people, because of the amount of transformations you've been through. It's like, I'm going again, I'm crumbling again, and now I'm a new person. I'm crumbling again, and now I'm a new person. It's like all the time. And even like, I feel like you're at a point now where it's no longer like this catastrophe tower card. It's literally like, okay, and rebirth, boom. And then it's like, here I am, like somewhere else now. You feel like that. Again, like water, like replenishing. You know, like when the sun evaporates the water, and then it stays in like the atmospheric system, and then it rains, and then it flows down, and then like we drink it and blah blah blah, and then it goes into the sea, and then the sun evaporates it again. It's like your energy is always going like that, accumulating, transforming, like bursting into flames to kind of be reborn again. And it's like the more you do that, it's like wisdom. It's, you're like that. You may have gone through a really strong awakening in this lifetime, like a Kundalini awakening. You may have just had a very hard, like, dark night of the soul and transformed. There's something about you, like, going through a really strong rebirth. And it's funny because you've seen your darkness, you've seen destruction, you've seen pain. And it's just like, you're still stood here in this very peaceful energy because you just transmute it naturally. Light worker energy, you know? Pile 2. So we have house 10, structure, discipline, life mission, accomplishments, and career. And look at the owl here. Something about the wisdom that you share, the energy that you channel, the words that you channel is in alignment with your career. It's something that I feel is part of your career, like spiritual services, I'm being told. And again, healing doesn't have to just be, you know, tarot cards and Reiki. Healing can be music, healing can be dancing, healing can be so many things. And I feel like whatever it is you're channeling, whatever it is you're doing with this energy, alchemizing energy, whether it's teaching other people to do the same, holding space for people, that I do feel is like a soul mission for you guys. Pile number 1. With house 10 here, and then like I always say with the rose, it's like the rose that grew from the concrete, and then we have like the heart here, which is a bit of a skeleton, and then we have like the full part. I feel like you've been on an incredible healing journey because you are a born healer, I feel. And when we're a born healer, it's not that we heal other people, we heal ourselves and teach other people to do the same. And I feel like that's something that you've been learning in this lifetime. I feel like in your childhood or early teens, you sometimes would mold into other people, and sometimes not necessarily didn't have a sense of self, but you were like, you'd struggle emotionally because it would be like, what's my emotion and what is somebody else's? What's my thought and what is somebody else's? And it was like, you may have, because you take on energy a lot, it took you a while to stabilize into it, I'm being told. And you may have had like relationships and, you know, relationships with parents or friendships where like you took on their pain because you wanted to like nurture and help, but then it was like you had no sense of like then self of like, well, what do I deserve? What do I, you know, who am I? Like, I'm not just a healer. I'm not here to just mesh with people's energy. Like, I need to observe and don't absorb. I'm not here to like mold with them. I'm here to, you know, like be that guiding light. And you've learned to kind of like stabilize your energy and ground into your energy and learn who you are as a person on a soul level, so you can infiltrate that in the physical and become the best version of you. I feel like that's a journey that you've been on, because I'm almost being shown like through childhood somebody, and I'm being shown your energy. This is what I'm being shown. Put my cards down a second, because I feel like this may be healing for somebody. I'm being shown you in childhood or in, you know, early teens, maybe early 20s, like your aura, and then it's like lines from your aura. Your aura is like a pure like whitey bluey, you know, color with like lilacs and stuff, and then I'm being shown like white lines, which is like cords to parents, friends and exes, and it's like you would be around them and it was like you take on their energy because you can do that. It's a gift, but I don't think you realize it was a gift yet. So you take on their energies, and there would be like an attachment, and it wouldn't be, oh my god, I want you in my life, stay in my life. It would be you were attached to their emotions and what they were kind of like going through, and there was like a lot of lines, and I feel like a lot of people benefited having that energy cord stuck to you, because it was like, I can come back because I know they'll want to like look after me or nurture me or something like that. And I see your energy kind of like being spread, and I'm literally being shown a point where you had a realization of this, because you're always working on yourself, always transmuting, and I'm almost being shown you shining like a star and pulling every cord back to yourself. Like, this is not yours, this is not yours, and really realizing what energy is. And I'm being shown like a knife. I don't know if some of you guys have like a selenite knife for like cord cutting and stuff, but I'm being shown like a selenite knife, like a crystal knife, and cutting the cords of the people around you and going, not yours, not yours, not yours. You're not supposed to be feeding off this. I understand this now, and cutting until all of your energy is your own. And I feel like that's how you've reached this point of Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and maybe you're still on that journey of calling that energy back to you, because it's like, that's not yours to play with, that's not yours to feed off of. Like, this is why I've been feeling drained. Like, I see you pulling all of that back and realizing that you're not here to just be a molded into other people. You are still your own person, and you have your own needs and things in this lifetime as well. And I feel like you're on a journey of like learning what those are. You know what I mean? My avatar, my human body, what is it? Who am I? Like, you're on a kind of quest of self, it feels, in this lifetime. Pile 2. I hope that healed, like helped heal somebody, or like help somebody understand something. But I say that's a journey. Maybe I've just put words to something you've energetically felt, but I was called to say that. I feel you guys have been doing that. Pile 2, please, spirit guides. Uranus. Radical change. And we literally had the Tower card here. So you may have a lot of like Uranus in your chart. You may have a lot of that energy in your chart. Whenever I think of Uranus, you know, it's like the mad scientist energy, and I just feel like you are that person. I almost feel like to get inside your brain, it's like you come across so calm, words of wisdom, it's like boom. But to get inside your brain, I don't know if you've ever seen that meme of that guy, and he's drawing on a chalkboard, and it's like all equations, and he looks like insane, and he has like the crazy scientist hair. I feel like that's your brain sometimes, because it's like you're always going in deep and understanding things about other people. It's like you're always doing that, and oh my god, I went through that for this, and oh my god, that meant this. And it's like you're always you're on this inner journey. It's like you're always, what's the word, you're always transmuting something and understanding something new. And it's like, oh, you know, it's like I have an idea, or oh my god, like the light bulb just went off. It's your brain's kind of like that in a way. That's where I'm being taken to with that card, which is why you're always shifting and always changing. And I feel like you've had a lot to unpack, maybe from generational karma, maybe from your own childhood, maybe carried on from past lives. You've had a lot to unpack, it feels. Like your mind's always kind of like busy like that. You're learning to calm it though, I'm being told. We have house 9, spiritual growth. I mean, that kind of goes without saying. You've always been guided by a higher force. Even when you were like young, you've always been guided by a higher force, always. And look at the birds in the air here. It's like your spirit guides, very heavily protected. Pile 2. You've always been guided by spirit, by your higher self. You've always had like a direct line there in one way. Always. Pile 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2, we have Capricorn. Ambition, realism, and methodical steps. When we think of Capricorn, you know, that's like Saturn energy, and I really do feel like you've really, like I said, when you were calling your energy back, you've grown up in this life. Like, you've really, really grown up. You really had to kind of like clamp down on where your energy was being taken. You really had to put in those boundaries. You really had to learn some hard lessons with other people, because again, it was like, I'm literally being shown somebody like morphing in or molding into somebody, and I don't mean becoming that person or copying that person. I mean taking on their baggage just naturally because you could, but then learning like, okay, I need to put in boundaries here, not just with them but with myself. And you've learned a lot of your lessons through other people, like how other people have treated you, and I feel like you've internalized it and used it to kind of understand, you know, human beings and whatnot. That's what I'm being told on a soul level. Very spiritual pile. And the back of the deck we have Aries, independence, bravery, and passion. They're showing me, I don't know if you've ever watched Spirited Away, but there's a girl. It's basically about this girl, and she moves to a new place, and there's like a passageway that she and her parents unknowingly go through, which is to like the spirit realm basically. And her parents, she's a very like timid child, very innocent child, very like, she's a warrior. And I feel like what I'm being shown is like the parents get turned into pigs basically, and then she is like in the spirit world, and she's really worried and scared, and she's like crying, and by the end of the movie anyway, she kind of like levels up and saves her parents, and she turns into this kind of like warrior of the spirit world in a way. And I feel like that's you. I feel like going into this life, you may have been somebody, because your energy is very like this, very pure, you have a beautiful heart. I feel like going into this like incarnation, I feel like you were someone that was like, it took you by storm. You were just like, oh my God. And I feel like you had such a beautiful heart, and it was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to be nice to people, and I'm just going to like love people. And I feel like you've learned a lot of hard lessons, but it's like with grace. And I feel like you've really grown up. Like, people's first impressions maybe a year ago or 2 years ago is not the same impression that they have of you now. You've really grown up. And I'm being shown like the Empress card. You've really like learned how to navigate on earth and be that guide and be that kind of like hero to your own like hero's journey. Like, I'm almost being told you've become what your childhood self needed. And there's like a clap from spirit coming through, and I feel like because of that, you are now healing other people's inner childs, and that's what people see through you. Like, off first impressions, it's like people are guided to you when they need you, and it's like you do the way that you are, the words of wisdom that you had, the words that you teach, the way you say things. It's like you're very healing to other people's inner child, and other people that were like you, and you know, stuck giving their energy to other people, are being like confused about their spiritual gifts. I almost feel like you're a source of light for them. Again, show me the anchor to end the reading. That's what I saw when I opened up the reading. That's what I'm showing when I'm ending the reading. They show me like an anchor. You're almost like somebody's safe space in a way. People feel that way about you. You're like a homey energy. You're like a light, like a lighthouse is what I'm being told for you guys. So that was really beautiful, pile number 2. I really, really loved this reading. Thank you so much for letting me read you guys this energy. I hope you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are currently taking a look at what is people's first impression of you. So you guys chose the orange calcite. I'm going to pop that up here, and we are going to get straight in. So spirit guides, can you tap me into the collective of pile number 3, please? Tap me into the collective of pile number 3. What is people's first impressions of pile number 3? I'm being shown like I don't know if you've ever seen High School Musical, but do you know what's her name, CASHAPP, when she's walking through the corridor and she's like main character energy walking through? That's the scene I was literally just shown. I think it was in High School Musical 3. That's the scene I was just shown for you guys. So male or female, doesn't matter. But that's just an energy, like you have main character energy, pile 3. That's something that was shown really, really quickly. It could even just be on like socials or something like that. But it's there's this feeling of like, if I was to be in a room with you, I would know that you know who you are. Like, I feel like no one can tell you about you, and that's the first impression that people have of you, pile 3. No one can tell you about you. You've become very confident in who you are. Maybe you've always been that way, or maybe you've had to learn to be that way. But what I'm being told is, as well, you do have very, very strong intuition. It's like, I'm being shown Acturian starseeds now coming through, so you may resonate as an Acturian starseed. But I'm being told that you're very intuitive and you read people very well. And I feel like I'm hearing you're like a BS detector, like, you know, when people are like lying and things like that. But like, one thing that I will say is some people, when they have these gifts, sometimes they merge with the other person. So they sometimes may not trust themselves, and it takes them a while to learn to like trust themselves, because they're always merging with the other person, because, you know, they're helping others, they don't really have a strong sense of who they are yet, then that has to be built on. Whereas I feel like you know exactly who you are, so you're very, and I'm being told either early on, or you've learned to really differentiate between yourself and other people's projections and energy, so that it doesn't get all tied up and molded in. And because of that, you're sending out this strong energy that you know who you are, and no one can kind of tell you who you are. Strong energy like that. I'm picking up some Aquarius energy from you guys. But because of that, I feel like people are like, oh, you know, that person, they know exactly who they are. I wouldn't mess with that person. Not that you're somebody that's going to like fly off the handle, but just like, you know who you are. No one can kind of pull you off your pedestal. You know what I mean? So that's something that came through straight away. Pile 3. What is people's first impressions of pile number 3, please, spirit guides? What is people's first impressions? Yeah, look at that. Abundance. The Empress card here. I literally looked at that and all I heard was abundance. So I feel like the reason this card came through is because I'm hearing Neo, Miss Independent. So male and female, you're somebody that's very self-sufficient. You know what I mean? I feel like you want something, you go and get it. A little bit of Aries energy go like within that. It's like you're somebody that is very ambitious and very driven, and that's how people view you off a first impression. There is this element of respect here. When we look at the Empress, you know, she's not worrying about her crops growing. She's not, you know, rushing around making sure everything's perfect. It's like she knows that the universe will provide abundantly. So she just sits back and allows it to grow. And I feel like that's you guys. It's like, I know what's for me is going to be for me. I don't need to worry. I don't need to stress. Nothing's going to take me out of my energy. Like, I'm not saying you don't ever get stressed, but off a first impression, people just feel like you're very determined. Like nothing can kind of get in your way, I feel. And I feel like that's something that people find quite sexy about you, is that you know exactly who you are. And I feel like you're someone that really sticks up for your friends. There's almost a feeling like you may have a little bit of a fiery personality, but it's in the sense of like, you don't let, like, I feel like if say you had a friend, let me put it in like words, say you had a friend and someone was talking down to a friend of yours, I feel like you would stand up for them or step in for them. Like, you're one of those people. You have no problem standing up for yourself and other people. Let's get deeper. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. What is people's first impressions of pile number 3? What is people's first impressions of pile number 3? Yeah, look at that. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So some of you guys may have a business, specifically online, because I keep being told like social media presence. So some of you guys may have a business, or that just may be a job that you've really like, you may be known for working hard in. There's something about you, pile number 3, you're known for working hard at whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve. There may have even been times in your life where people underestimated you, but I'm almost being told that everything that you set your sights for, you reach. So it's like, maybe in the past, people might have like been like, oh, that person's kind of like, you know, they're thinking too big. But I feel like there's almost a sense of, you always prove people wrong when you've done that, so people know to expect the best from you. Bit of Virgo energy, because I feel like you have a perfectionist vibe, or at least that's how people project onto you, that you have this perfectionist vibe. But I just feel like you know you're a valuable person, so that energy kind of remits out, and I feel like that's how you get that abundance in. You know your sauce, you know what I mean? You know your sauce, you know I'm being told you know your light attributes and you know your dark attributes, so people can't turn, you know, some people when they're in an argument or something, or they don't like someone, they try to turn somebody's dark attributes against them and kind of hold them against that person. I feel like you're very aware of your lighter side and your shadow side, and I'm being told that even if somebody was to bring up your darker side, I feel like you'd own it. Like, yeah, that's me. Like, you know what I mean? That's me. Like, I feel like you own that. That's what I'm being told. But like I was saying, people see you off a first impression as somebody that's very ambitious, somebody that goes after what they want, even if it like takes like 5-10 years. Just somebody that's like heading I was literally hearing CASHAPP, you know, like main character energy, like from the High School Musical. I'm now hearing what's it called, High School Musical get your head in the game. Who sang that? Troy? I was hearing that. Like, when I was tapping into your energy, I saw Sharpay walking down, like, main character energy, and now I'm being shown Troy with the basketballs. Get your head in the game. So yeah, you're somebody that's very determined, knows what they want, will go out and get it. Pile number 3, what is people's first impressions of pile number 3, please, spirit guides? What is people's first impressions of pile number 3? We have the 10 of Swords. I'm gonna lay one more card. What is people's first impressions of pile number 3? We have the Fool. Okay, I feel like you may have had it like a glow up in front of a lot of people, and when I say glow up, I don't mean you went from you know, like ugly to beautiful, not like that at all, because I feel like we're all beautiful. I just feel like you've maybe in the past, you know, like I was saying, you may have had big dreams, but you hadn't yet achieved them. They may have felt a little bit out of reach. Maybe you didn't come from a lot. You brought, you know, a lot of wealth to yourself, or maybe you were very insecure. Now you're very confident, but there's almost like it feels like a timeline shift. Like, it doesn't even feel like, oh, okay, I've just worked on myself. It feels like a whole leap. Like, one minute people saw you as one way, and, you know, maybe you had your head down working, but you didn't have anything to show for it yet, or you were just going inward to do the work. So it was like, one minute people saw you one way, and then there's this shift, and all of a sudden it's like, bam, new person. That's how I'm almost picking up from you guys. So there may be people, pile number 3, from the past who have had an impression of you that may have been different to this one, and now they're having to have like new first impressions of you again. It's like you're a completely different person, because with this 10 of Swords followed by the Fool, there's some sort of rebirth here. And it doesn't, when I say rebirth, it doesn't always have to be spiritual. It could be, you could have gone through an ascension, you could have gone through a dark night of the soul, Kundalini awakening, or just a very strong awakening. Or it could just be that you've just really, really worked on yourself, or everything that you were working on, it's now coming to fruition, and now people may be eating their words. And I keep hearing underdog, underdog, underdog. So maybe in the past you were an underdog, whereas I feel like now it's almost like, I'm hearing the Nicki Minaj song Blazing, and she sings, I fly high, I'm blazing. Like, I'm hearing that for you guys. It's almost like a bit of like a homecoming, and people from your past are having to have new first impressions of you. That's something that's coming through for you guys, pile 3. Another thing of a first impressions is that you, first of all, I'm hearing people don't know what to expect when they approach you. So people may have heard of you from the grapevine, heard of you from other people. And I feel like every time people meet you, I'm being told you have, it's like you changed their opinions. Maybe somebody heard something about you, maybe from like an old friend. They might have heard you were mean or whatever the case, and then they meet you and you're like really lovely. Or somebody had an observation that maybe you were quite shy, and then they meet you and you're very confident. So it's like, I feel like when people get to know you and people do meet you after hearing about you or seeing you on social media, they have a completely different opinion of you, which is a more respectful opinion, I'm being told. You're seen as somebody, I'm being told to say now, you're seen as somebody now who's very confident. It almost feels like an empowered empath. That's how it feels. You're seen as someone now that's like very, very confident, somebody that's a go-getter, somebody that, you know what I mean, can turn water into wine type of thing. I feel like you've come out of something that looked to some people like you were going to stay dead forever, and you've just kind of burst back out. Or maybe that's like your story. Maybe you write about that on like social media, Snapchat, Instagram, something like that, Twitter, whatever the case, Facebook, because it's like, there's this energy of you making it out the darkness. The reason I'm saying that as well is we have the Tower at the back of the deck. So people may have seen a whole crumbling of what you once were to now be something else. So now people are having a completely different, changed opinions of you, I'm being told. There's something very like siren, seductive about you. The reason I'm saying that is when I'm looking at these two cards, they're reminding me of like divine feminine energy. And then we have the crystal that you chose, which is the orange calcite, which connects us to our sacral chakra, and that, you know, taps us into the sensual side of you know, us. And I just feel like there's something either about your voice, the way you speak, or maybe you just are very flirty and don't realize it, but I feel like people are really drawn to that, really drawn to you in a sensual way like that, I'm being told. I feel like you may get a lot of like romantic suitors and people stepping towards you, because there's a lot of that. There's almost like this seductress, a seductress feel about you. And I'm also being told that you may find, I'm also being taken to like women may be a bit wary of you if you're around their partners, if you are interested in like males watching this, because I don't know why I just keep being shown like someone just like, I see you walking past, and the way they're showing it to me is like Sharpay, right? And then I'm seeing like the way Spirit's showing me is like a couple, and then the female covering the male's eyes. That's what I was just shown. So I don't know whether you just always making sure you look good and stuff like that. You smell very good, because they're making me feel like, you smell good. Yeah, like they keep showing high quality. So I feel like you do represent yourself very well. But there's just this feeling of people maybe wanting to hide their partners. Not like that you're known for like going after people's like partners or anything like that, but there is that feeling of like, oh, I don't, you know what I mean? Like I am picking that up, and it's nothing that like necessarily you do, it's just you, it's just your vibe. You do have that like I'm hearing like enchantress, like seductive type of energy coming from you guys, male or female. I feel like you have it, you know what I mean? Because it'll be the same with like, I'm being told it's the same for like if you're a male watching and being shown people like hiding their partners, you know. So you do have that. I just heard it's Mr. Steal Your Girl, Trey Songz. I just heard that. And one of the things that is really attractive about you as well, I feel like you're somebody that attracts a lot of people, whether you're aware of it or not, because when we have that energy, people can sometimes be envious. They don't necessarily say it for some reason. But I am being told that how do I get me into that energy, Spirit, so I can like speak it like fluently out? Because you don't need anyone, because you're not like waiting for somebody to check on you, be a cheerleader. I don't feel like you're someone like, say you have an idea or you have a career path you want to go down. I don't feel like you're someone that will wait for your friends to green light it, or wait for your parents or family to big you up, either because you've just never been that way, or because maybe you had to learn to be a bit self-sufficient. But you're someone that like, it's, your friends may not hear from you, and it's like, oh, did you know I just started this business, or did you know I just did this course? And they're like, whoa, you know what I mean? It's like, you don't wait for anyone to give you the green light. You don't wait for, you know, anyone to say, oh yeah, you should say that to this person, or you should do this, or you should wear that. Like, I'll wear it because I can wear it, because it's me and I want to wear it and I know I'll look good in it. It's that type of energy. Like, you don't look right or left for anyone's validation. It's just you. You're one of those people. And I feel like there is almost a sense as well, like, I just shared, if I want something done correctly, I'll do it myself. So I do feel you come across as very independent. I am hearing a little bit feisty sometimes, but it's more so because you know what you want. I'm hearing, I have, what's the word? Let's show me a word. I don't think I know this word. I have eloquent taste. I think that's what I just heard. Elegant, I don't know. They just said like exquisite. Let's just say exquisite. So I just saw someone do this and go, I have exquisite taste. Like, you have very high standards for yourself and also the people in your life. But I just feel because of that, it's like you kind of shine out this air of like luxury. I've said in a pick a card kind of like this before. I think it was the attractive pile, attractive pick a card. There was an energy like this that came through, and it felt like high value, like high maintenance. And I feel like that's you guys. Remember, high maintenance isn't always I want to buy designer. High maintenance is like skincare. High maintenance is like looking after your physical body, looking after your, you know, spiritual vessel. It's like making sure that you're the best version of you. And I feel like you do show up as that as much as you can. You may even like romanticize your life a lot, because you do you know what song I'm hearing for you guys? Prima Donna Girl. Is it called Prima Donna Girl or Prima Donna? Prima Donna by Marina and the Diamonds. That's what I'm hearing from you guys. But you know what I'm being told as well is that you have been through a lot in your life. Like, you've had, it almost feels like with the Tower card, it's reminding me of like Uranus energy, and it's making me feel like you may have had to have a lot of new starts, or a lot of the old has had to crumble for you to pick yourself up again. Because now I'm hearing Cardi B get up 10. Like, you're somebody that's had to really deal and go, you know, I'm hearing pressure makes diamonds. Like, you've been through a lot that's turned you into a diamond. It could have turned you cold. You could have just completely gave up. You could have gone down a dark route, and being told that could have even been like a timeline that you could have gone down. But you were like, no, I'm leveling up. I'm not, like, I'm taking my life into my own hands. There's a feeling of like never, maybe in childhood, maybe in your teen years, never having solid ground underneath your feet. So you had to create that solid ground. So because of that, it's like, I've got to show up for me the best way that I can. because no one's got me like I've got me, and you send out that energy of like independence that way. And I feel like you may not have had the ground under your feet growing up, so maybe you've built that for yourself. So there is a bit of awe, because I feel like people do know your story, or know there's this feeling of, I knew who they were before, they're different to how they are now, but they've come through this, they've rebirthed. Like, that's what I'm being shown. And with the rose here, you know, one of my favorite sayings is the rose that came from the concrete. I feel like a lot of light workers, that saying fits everybody so perfectly, and the rose is really standing out here. So it's almost like you've moved on to a new path, and I feel like people are almost kind of in awe of your story. So I feel like people would know your story, or it's just people that you, maybe I'm picking up on people that you've grown up with. Maybe you're a bit of a topic of conversation, so people are like, oh, look what that person's doing now, or like, look at that person now. There's just a shift, whether it was energetically or physically, but I feel like you've been kind of like your own salvation like that. So there's a lot of, you come across as a very powerful person, pile 3, is what I'm being told. Like, I don't need anybody, you know? I feel like you're also private about, it's funny because I feel like you're private about who you bring into your life, but you are very, very lovely to people. Very, very lovely. Like, even though I'm showing this energy of being very high value, I feel like sometimes may mistake it as something else. Whereas I feel like you carry it very well. You've never lost your heart. I feel like you're very, very sweet to people, very nice to people. And I feel like that, again, shows like, I feel like people have respect for you because of that. I feel like I'm being told because you've been through a lot, you have that level of empathy for people, but you've also balanced it out with knowing when to have that shield there just in case. This feels like a very balanced person. I remember I was saying at the beginning, you feel like you have psychic abilities, but you know not to mesh with other people. I feel like that's maybe something in alignment with what you've learned, or what's caused the shift for you. Like, you've learned to untangle yourself from people and get to know who you are without just being a healer, or just being a helper, or just being a giver, you know, because that's a lesson that I feel like a lot of empaths have to learn. And I feel like that's something now that I'm tapping into you that you've learned. So there's a different kind of like shake up of how people are viewing you now, and you're someone that kind of like oozes respect. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3. What's people's first impression of pile number 3, please, spirit guides? What is people's first impression of pile number 3? So we have Cardinal, instigation, bravery, and a pioneer in spirit. So, you know, the thing about cardinal signs is they're always on to the next. And by that I mean they're always thinking of something new to build. They're laying those foundations. They're always like, okay, what can we build now? What can we start now? They're the starters. And I feel like that's you. It's like, okay, I'm not going to sit around and wait, you know what I mean, for someone to build something for me, or I'm not just going to do that. I'm going to go out and initiate. I'm going to go out and make money for myself, or make happiness for myself, or make this ground underneath my feet. I'm going to go out and do that for myself, because only I can do it the way that I need to, and I need to value myself and do that first. And that's why this cardinal card has come through. Do you see how the flames being kind of like sparked there? It's like you're one of those people that just like starts that flame. And I'm almost being told that you would do really well in like motivational spaces, so like motivational speakers and things like that, because you're someone that like, you're a bit of a visionary like that, you know what I mean? You could literally, they're showing me the scene from Mamma Mia 2. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but what's her name? I watched it the other day. Donna, she goes to this like rundown van, and it's so rundown, but like she can see the potential in it. She can see that with like a lick of paint, maybe a couple new doors, this could turn into like a really nice resort, and it ends up being that. But it's like she saw that vision, and I feel like you're one of those people. Like, I feel like I'm being shown somebody that may have not had a lot going up, or may have not had the best growing up, or just went through a lot going up, but it was like you always saw their brighter side, you know what I mean? You always saw the potential of what your life could be. It's like, yeah, I could go down this road, but I know I have potential to be this, and I know maybe people don't believe in that right now. You know what I mean? They may think it's a really big dream, but I know I can go and get that. And that's why this cardinal energy is coming through, because you're an initiator, you're a starter. Like, that's what you do, and people see that about you now. I feel like they're saying now, people see it now. I feel like you've really been like working on yourself here, putting energy into yourself. And I'm being told the blessings are already coming in. They're already coming in because the energy's already shifted. We also have South Node, destined to release. So like I was saying about this 10 of Swords and this Tower card, and like a rebirth, pile number 3. There's this feeling of like being one way and turning it into something else. It's almost like something at one point, pile 3, they're showing me it energetically. Something at one point was activated within you where you just shifted the course of your life. Like, I'm not going this way, I'm going a completely different way. I'm not doing this anymore. And I feel like you're very talented, and your talents are coming as well from your past lives with this South Node card. Very much, again, like intuitives, your strength. Like, I feel like your soul's always had to either fight or like your soul's always worked really hard. Your soul's always like been dedicated to a particular craft. So it's like you brought that into this life, and people are now seeing that. There's almost this kind of like warrior spirit that people are seeing within you, pile 3. Pile number 3, is that 2 cards? Cool, we lose these then. We have, do you remember saying the tarot card just reminded me of Uranus energy? We literally have the card Uranus, or Uranus as some people like to say. Radically change. So yeah, that's what I was saying. There's been a lot of shift in your life. I almost feel like you were born into maybe like a rocky situation, or there was just a lot of shakeups maybe in your family unit. They keep taking me to the 4th house. I feel like there was a lot of shakeups there. But you've learned to kind of put that ground beneath your feet. Maybe that's why in the past maybe you merged energies with other people while you were trying to help, because it was just like there's this feeling of a bit like a born healer here, you know what I mean? But I feel like even every time, I'm being told, every time you've hit rock bottom and every time you've reached like adversities, this light was just like lit within you. And it was like, it's almost like the more foggy it got or the more crazy it got, it gave you energy to just like catapult forward and make something of yourself. And the reason that it's coming up in this reading is I almost feel that moving forward, you may have some sort of platform where people are going to hear your story, because that's something that people know about you off of first impressions. Like, it almost feels like the first thing that people may hear about you is that story, or you motivating people, or maybe drawing off your own experience. There's something about that. So let me know what that's about, because it's coming through heavy moving forward that this is going to be known about you. I came from this, I turned into this. Rags to riches type of energy, or I was lost and then I found myself type of energy. It feels like that. We also have Venus. Give and receive love, find value and see beauty. Like I said, you're somebody that values themselves, and people see that now. People really see that. And I feel like there's going to be a very big shift. I'm not even going to say it's going to be, it's already happened. There's been shifts happening within your friendships and relationships with your family members, relationships with other people, you know, even in romantic relationships, if you're in a romantic relationship where people are seeing you in a completely different light. You know what I mean? Again, it's like high value. People are seeing you in a brighter light. Not that they didn't see you like it before, but it's just that you're emitting that energy from yourself now. Sometimes it's hard to see that in someone if they don't see it in themselves. And I feel like, again, you are merging with other people's energies where it's like you know exactly who you are now. So it's almost like people are getting to know you again. That's what I'm feeling. There's a shift that's been taking place as I'm doing this reading. And people are getting to know who you are again. Friends, everybody. It's like this is a new person. Yeah, that's completely coming through. The back of the deck, we have Scorpio. Intensity, exposing, purging, and renewing. Definitely a shift that's taken place recently, pile number 3, with these energies. Definitely a shift, and a shift for the better, because you've grown. Look at the butterfly here with the skull. It's like at the old skin. Look at the snake here as well. It's like the old skin is falling away. I'm hearing, I keep hearing Mamma Mia. You know, what's the song? Look at me now. Well, I just heard that bit from, not Dancing Queen. What was the song? Look at me now. Will I ever learn? I don't know. Mamma Mia. That's literally the song. I literally said the name. But yeah, that's what I'm picking up from you guys. Like, you're somebody that's like really shining bright, or you're stepping into a time where you're really shining bright, and people are learning to have new first impressions of you because there's been such a shift. And like I said, this is the energy. I literally just feel like I need to show you this card of how people are viewing you moving forward. A lot of respect, like a lot of respect that I'm being seen from other people to you. Yeah. So that's what I have for you, pile number 3. I really hope that you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 4, welcome to your reading. So we're currently taking a look at what people's first impression is of you. So you guys chose the aquamarine. I'm gonna pop that up here and we are gonna get straight in. Straight away, guys, as I was tapping into the collective, I really quickly was shown like surfing. Like I was being shown the beach, but I was being shown like water sports and like bodyboarding and things like that. It doesn't have to be for all of you, but I was just shown that. So some of you guys may do that, post that on your socials, or you may be known for that, but that's something that just got shown to me really quickly as I was tapping in, so let me know what that was about. I'm also being shown elephants randomly. Maybe that's a spirit animal of some of you guys, but I just got shown elephants. So pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4, what is people's first impressions of pile number 4? Straight away I'm being shown Libra, like Libra energy. I do feel like you guys, you're either a Libra rising, Libra moon, or you just exude that energy, like that Venusian energy where you're somebody. To be honest, even though I'm being shown Libra, it feels Taurus in nature, because I just feel like, I don't know why I'm being told that you guys are very naturally good looking. Like you don't have to do a lot to just exude booty. So definitely Venusian energy coming through, but I just feel like somebody's like a male watching and they have a very nice jawline or very like high cheekbones. I'm being told like chiseled, like sculpted by the gods. Somebody's spirit guides just said, but it's just something about you. There's something about you feeling very fresh, but there's also something about you just feeling very you're just very attractive. It just feels very attractive and there's a warmth to it. Purity, it feels pure. There's like a purity coming through from you guys. Let me get into it with the cards, but there's like a purity coming through. Pile number 4, please. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. What is people's first impressions of pile number 4? What is people's first impressions of pile number 4? So we have the 9 of Cups. What is people's first impressions of pile number 4, please, spirit guides? We have the Page of Cups. So strong water energy coming through. You guys may be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. That's what I was trying to say, not Panther. With these cups energy here. There's something about like romantic interest looking at you and feeling like you would be very emotionally fulfilling. I don't know whether you guys have like a Libra moon in the sense that you may have a lot of like companions, like companionship, whether that's relationships or friendship. There's something about you coming across off of first impressions as a very genuine person and somebody that would be very emotionally fulfilling, very giving and very loving. And you may be known as someone, you may just be in a relationship, so people know you as being in a relationship, or you may just be a relationship type person where you're often in a relationship, so it's like there's a feeling of you being a bit of a romantic in that sense. That's something that's coming through. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. What's people's first impressions of pile number 4? Upright or upside down? Am I doing that? Upright, okay. The Hierophant. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. What's people's first impressions? We have the Page of Pentacles that's popped out as well. We also have at the back of the deck the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. I feel like I always feel like I know when I've got my water pile, I know when I've got like a pile, but there's just something about your energy that feels very familiar. So I may have even spoken to you. I don't know why. It could even be that people just feel like you're somebody very familiar when you meet. You may find that people just naturally, it could just be me picking up on it too and feeling that way about you. You may get people like, I swear I've seen you before, or I just feel like when I talk to you, I feel like I've known you forever. Or you may find that people just like naturally tell all of their business to you because you seem like someone that's very genuine, like it's kind of like counseling energy in the sense I'm being taken to the years, like you're a good listener. I feel like you're somebody that's very empathetic and that would be there for people, because there's almost this feeling of like you naturally come across as a friend to people even when they don't know you. People feel very safe in your presence and people find your energy very genuine. There's something very pure about you like that. And I feel like there's something about your eyes. You have very friendly eyes, very warm eyes, I'm being told. Very friendly, very warm. I'm also being told you have really nice teeth. For some of you guys who that resonates for, you have really nice teeth. People think that. Yeah, I'm being shown like I'm being shown like a scenario, because sometimes people will show me a scenario, right? And I'm being shown somebody getting their groceries, going shopping, doing a bit of a food shop, right? And packing away, and then the like person on the till is just there offloading, and not in a sense of like it's burdening you, but just like they feel so comfortable to open up to you that they just start sparking a conversation, and then it just kind of flows. Like you may like literally just be waiting in line to get like you know, a frappuccino, and then somebody's just like, oh, you know, 9 years ago today my dog died and I've got to do, you know what I mean? And you're like, oh wow, we're talking about this. Okay, I don't know you, but cool. So that's coming through. I just saw the letter J and then like Julia, something like that. So that may be somebody's name. But yeah, I see a lot of that, like someone just feeling like they can just tell you anything. You may just get like a lot of people just coming to you. Maybe like somebody that a lot of people go to for advice, because I feel like you're very much in like a Libra sense, like very like unbiased, very much seeing both sides, very platonic like that. I feel like you're quite like that with people. In regards to romantic situations though, I feel like people almost look at you like this person would emotionally fulfill me. Like I feel like your warmth and your heart, and it's just a glow about you that I feel really draws people in. Some of you guys may wear the colour white a lot, because I keep being shown somebody wearing white clothes, or maybe your like aesthetic is white. Maybe on social media, maybe you know, your house or your bedroom or whatever is white. There's something about white coming through, like a porcelain white, in regards to clothing or like a style or something. Yeah, this keeps taking me like in the sense of like people coming to you to kind of like guide them in a way, or help them, or just be that kind of like friend, because you just ooze this very much just genuine aura about you. I hope that makes sense. But like I said, there's love interests around you, but I just feel like you're one of those people where it's like, say now you come out of a relationship, it's almost like people want to grab you before you get into like another one, or people just want to, you know, step towards you then, because it's almost like I'm being shown somebody on the market and then all of a sudden it's gone. You know, remember when Kylie Jenner had her lip kits and she only made like a few, and then they were like sold out really quickly? Remember that big thing in like 2014, I think it was 2015? It's kind of like that. It's just like you're exclusive, kind of like that. I also am being told that you are romantic and people see you as a romantic. I'm also hearing like violins. I don't know why. Someone may play a violin, or maybe you like a lot of like, do you know, like I'm hearing like jazz music, like I'm taking like Frank Sinatra, like Amy Winehouse. I'm being taken there as well, like jazz music. But yeah, I'm being taken there. I feel like in love you're a bit old school, I'm being told. I feel like you shine a light on love interest, like romantic side. I see people wanting to like woo you. I'm hearing the Moonlight song by Ariana Grande. I'm hearing that. Of course she'd show up. Let's see what else is coming through. You are just I'm being told you're very bubbly. And just very giving, very, very sweet, very bubbly, very generous. That's off of first impression. And you're someone as well that like is very adventurous, and being told, at least that's how people view you. I don't know whether like you have social media and you post a lot of like outdoorsy things. Like you may, like I was being shown in the beginning, like water sports, or maybe you paint. I'm being taken to painting, or maybe maybe there's a lot of things that you do. I'm being shown someone like zip wiring. I'm being shown someone like rollerblading. I'm being shown somebody in like a jungle gym type thing outside. Like I'm being shown a lot of things like that. So I feel like you seem quite outdoorsy, or at least very adventurous, or always doing something. And there's something very like creative in regards to that about you. You come across as a bit of a free spirit. Off of first impression, Pal and before. There's just I feel like not a lot of people have anything bad to say about you. Sometimes you get like energies where people will draw on people and they can be very envious, very jealous. Of course, everybody has that now and again, but it's not in like a huge wave in which I'm picking up on it strongly. You may have like 1 or 2 people that may feel that way, but it's like you do leave a really good impression off of people, because I feel like you do work on yourself, and you know, you treat people with kindness, you treat people with like compassion, and I feel like people do genuinely respect that about you. And I'm also being told that there are a lot of people that value you in your life. Like, you may have a lot of siblings, or you may just have like a, you know, friends that maybe you don't see them all the time, but they're around. Like, there's a lot of people that value you. That's what I'm being taken to here with the 9 of Cups. Like, people really value the person that you are and have a lot of good things to say about you. That's how it's coming through. If you don't feel that way, then this probably wasn't for you, but that's what I'm picking up. Like, this does feel like you've got a lot of people around you, like, supporting you like that, or just having a lot of love for you, whether it's shown or not. I feel it emotionally. And also being told in spirit you have that too. I know that's not to do with the reading because this is first impressions, but I am being told you have a strong knit spirit team behind you, especially like ancestors and stuff. I'm being told about that as well, being told to mention that to you guys. And the water here in the Page of Cups in the background, there's something about a beach. You may post a lot of images about a beach or something like that, because it's really something beachy here. Coming through with the fish and the cup as well. Yeah. I also am being told you're one of the first people that like people would think to like invite somewhere, because you're very fun and adventurous like that. I'm also being told you're a bit of a daredevil. But it's almost a sense of like, okay, we're going out for the night, or we're going to go do this, who shall we call? And I feel like you would be one of those first people to call, kind of like life of the party, just because your energy is very bright, vibrant. It's just fun. You're a very fun person. You have very lovely hair as well. I'm being shown like very lovely hair, either really big hair, really, really long hair. There's almost this natural-esque look to you. Like, you don't need a lot of makeup, or you don't need a lot of product. Not that there's anything wrong with doing it, but it's just that you just don't need a lot. You in your natural state, it's just like enough, and people really like that about you. Yeah, that's what I'm being told. Let's pull some more cards. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. What is people's first impressions? Oh god, too many cards. What is people's first impressions of pile 4, please, spirit guides? What is people's first impressions of pile number 4? We have house 9, spiritual growth. So we've got some Sagittarius energy here. And like I was saying, you guys are a free spirit. You guys may travel. Maybe that's what I was saying about the water as well. Maybe you've traveled a lot overseas. Maybe you're in a different destination. That's why people feel like there's like something new. You're always doing things. You got your hands in different pies. Maybe that's the case. I feel like you learn a lot through physical experience though, for sure. I feel like, you know, some people, they learn a lot through like challenges, or they'll have to like mentally, or, you know, travel to the astral realms. Whereas I feel like you learn a lot through physical experience. You learn a lot by just doing, you know what I mean? And I feel like you are quite connected to your physical body like that. And you do draw a lot of people to you because you just have that energy. I'm looking at the birds up the top here. I do feel like people do see you as somebody that's quite connected to spirit in a way, but it's in a very free-spirited way. Again, it's like the more traveling route. I am being shown somebody posting crystals online, but it's just crystals I'm being shown. I'm not being taken to anything else, but there's something about that. It's more so like holistic energy that you give off, like holistic healing or something like that. You may do. I just shared Reiki practitioner, so let me know what that's about. Pile number 4, please. Is there something very artistic about you? Like painting and drawing and art and all of that humanitarian work. Like, that's almost where I would kind of like, if I had to put in brackets, bracket you. And that's the first impression kind of like energy that I pick up. Like, maybe that's something that you work on or that you do. Pile number 4. What is people's first impressions of pile number 4? You have a really lovely laugh. I just shared that. People like your laugh. There's a cute energy to you. You seem like boy next door, girl next door kind of energy in a way. Pile number... I just got shown Phoebe from Friends. If that resonates for anyone. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4. We have house 7, so Libra energy. I was telling you guys I felt that. Profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. What was I saying about you guys may be in a relationship, or you may just be a relationship type person, or you pull out just because you have that aura and that you feel very emotionally involved in, you pull out the energy of people feeling romantic around you. I do feel like a lot of people do find you attractive or want to be in a like relationship with you. I do feel that. And if you're like Lex, like I've been single all my life, where are these people? I just feel like it's an energy that you have, whether people say it or not. It's just this energy that you have that kind of like Venusian romantic element to you. That's the only way I can put it into words. Pile number 4, because remember we're looking from people's first impressions, so their way of putting things into words, or the energy that they perceive it as, is going to be different to mine. We have house 2, physical security, possessions, material values, and self-worth. I'm actually being told, not that like a lot of people depend on you, but like I was saying people would come to you for advice and stuff. I feel like you're someone that just like, you know the right thing to say to make people feel good about themselves. Like, you know the right thing to say to make people feel better about themselves, to make people see the light in themselves. Like, you know what to say. I feel like I'm being told to say, as a friend, you appear to be like a very, very good friend. And I feel like people hear through the grapevines about you and your loyalty and the type of friend you are, so it's like people respect that. You may have friendships that you've had your whole life, like from birth, you know what I mean, or like preschool or something like that. Like I feel like you're known for being a very loyal person like that. I'm also being told you're not that materialistic, or at least that's how you come across off of first impressions. People don't view you as somebody that's very materialistic at all. People see you as just somebody that's, again, it's genuine person. That's how you come across. Pile, if you guys have Venusian energy here, so Taurus, Libra, like I'm calling it, the majority of you will have it somewhat. If not, you're tropical and you're sidereal, because I can feel it. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4. What is people's first impressions of pile? Ooh. What is people's first impressions of pile number 4? We have Chiron, hurt and heal, and Chiron's known as the wounded healer. And with the moon here as well, I was saying like water energy, there may be some Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, because with this energy here, you are a very healing person. It's almost like you really understand love, pile 4. So I feel like you really pour into people in that way. Some people, and I'm gonna say it, some people don't understand love yet. Some people don't. Some people will mistake lust for love, or mistake somebody buying them things as love. Like, we can mistake love for a lot of things, but love at its core, I feel like that's something you're very aware of. You know what that is, and I feel like you really do fit. You're almost like an example of love, it feels. I hope that makes sense. And I feel like a lot of people that are going through things, I feel like you're someone that really raises their spirits. Yeah, I feel like you may like meet people when they're going through something, and I feel like you act as like a very good friend to them when you're kind of like needed in a way. Not to say that like, everyone that you have around you, they're only coming to you when they need you, because I just feel like you almost feel like the only way I can explain it, you feel like a good example to people. Do you understand what I mean? You have very good morals. I feel like whether you've had to raise yourself or whether you've had them set into you from birth, I feel like you have very good morals. You have a very good understanding of yourself and other people. You have a very good balance of like compassion, but then also knowing when to give that tough love. And I feel like you are very loyal like that. And I feel like you set as an example for people to like be the best version of themselves too. I hope that's making sense. Like, you're not the type of person that people know you as like, you're not the type of person to go and like bitch about their friends too, because it's like you wouldn't even join in on that. It's like, don't do that around me, you know what I mean? And that's what I mean about understanding what like love is, that energy, because it's like there's a lot of, you seem like very wise. I hope that's making sense. Very wise. And again, I'm going to say it again, genuine. You feel that way off of first impression. In the back of the deck, we have house 4. cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. Remember what I was saying to you guys, like you feel like oh, I've known you before. And I'm gonna say this, but like I apparently this means different in other countries. I'm gonna say homely. When, I don't know if it's different in other countries, but in the UK, when you say somebody feels like home or homey, it means like you feel like family to me. You feel like someone that brings me warmth and comfort. I said it before, and people were saying that in other countries it means like not nice when you say someone's homey. But in where I come from, homey and homely is like you're like family to me. You feel warm to me. You feel loving. You feel safe to me, and that's how you feel to people. That is really how you feel to people. Pile number 4. Very nurturing. It's like you have the like motherly nurturing, but you also have the like fatherly, like dependable energy. Very emotionally intelligent, you feel, pile 4, and people see that off of first impression. Yeah, so that's what I have for you guys, pile number 4. I really hope that you enjoyed and this resonated. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if it did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.